Okay, right, solubility of the gas in liquid. So we have completed two factors, right? So generally gases are soluble in liquid to form homogeneous mixture. There are many examples like carbon dioxide soluble in liquid, that is water, it form homogeneous mixture. Oxygen also soluble in water to form homogeneous mixture, and many gases are soluble in liquid or water, they form homogeneous mixture, right? Next, what are the factors affecting on solubility of the gas in liquid? There are three factors. One, nature of gas. So nature of gas, so this is very important. Nature of gas, because all the gases do not soluble same extent. Of course, some gases are soluble more extent, some gases are soluble less extent. It is depends on their nature. So particularly the gases like hydrogen, helium, nitrogen, oxygen, these called non-polar gases, N2, O2, even methane, helium, etc. So these are the non-polar gases. So usually non-polar gases are less soluble in water compared to polar gases, or the gases which are having more critical temperature particularly, right? The gases which are having more critical temperature, easily they are also called easily liquefiable gases, right? In first PUC gaseous state we study more critical temperature, they can be liquefied easily. Therefore the gases which are having more critical temperature and easily liquefiable gases like ammonia, SO2, carbon dioxide, HCl, etc. These are the gases having more critical temperature, they can be soluble easily. The reason is these gases combines with water, they form new compounds. So we have studied like ammonia combined with water, it form ammonium hydroxide. Like similarly carbon dioxide combined with water, it form carbonic acid, weak acid. So therefore these gases are more soluble in water compared to these non-polar gases. So this is completed last class, and we also completed last class temperature. So what is the effect of temperature on solubility of the gas in liquid? Usually solubility of the gas in liquid is a exothermic process, right? When gas is soluble in liquid, when gases are soluble in liquid, they release energy, that is exothermic. Since it is a exothermic process, so usually gases are more soluble at low temperature compared to high temperature. That is, the solubility of the gas in liquid is inversely proportional to temperature. Important. That means gases are more soluble at low temperature compared to high temperature. We have many more examples. The best example is oxygen. Oxygen is more soluble in cold water compared to warm water. That is the reason many aquatic species are more comfortable in cold water compared to warm water, because in cold water there is a more availability of oxygen compared to warm water. Similarly, all soft drinks, cool drinks containing carbon dioxide, right? So therefore, why the soft drinks are stored in cold condition? Because at cold condition the carbon dioxide is more soluble in soda water as well as in soft drinks. So that's what they stored under cold condition. Okay, so this is also completed. So these two factors completed. We need to start third factor, that is effect of pressure. Effect of pressure. So what is the effect of pressure on solubility of the gas in liquid? So usually we know that gases soluble in liquid to form homogeneous mixture, no doubt. But here, as the pressure increases, the solubility of the gas usually it is always increases. So therefore the solubility of the gas is always increases with increasing pressure. So therefore pressure is always directly proportional to solubility, or solubility of the gas always increases with increasing pressure and pressure of gas, and this relation can be explained by scientist called Henry. So we have Henry's law. So therefore it is explained by Henry's law. What Henry's law says? See, Henry's law says that there are three statements. At constant temperature, the solubility of the gas is directly proportional to partial pressure of the gas in vapor phase. For example, you just imagine a beaker containing water, right? This is a beaker containing water. Okay. Now, in this water, let us allow to pass the oxygen. Then tell me, then the solubility of oxygen in water. The solubility of the oxygen in water depends on what? Pressure. In what is the relation? At constant temperature, the solubility of the oxygen in water is directly proportional to its partial pressure. If gas come with high pressure, it is more soluble. If the gas come with low pressure, it is less soluble. Therefore, the solubility of the gas, it is shown with S, is directly proportional to its partial pressure. Partial pressure of the gas, okay, it is in vapor phase. So therefore, S is directly proportional to P. This is one relation. Next, this solubility can be taken in terms of mass. If the solubility taken in terms of mass, then tell me what is the Henry's law? Henry's law states that at constant temperature, temperature must be constant. At constant temperature, the mass of the oxygen, M, the mass of the oxygen which is soluble or which is dissolved in water is also directly proportional to what? Partial pressure. Where M is equals to what? Mass of the oxygen or mass of the gas. Where S equal to what? Solubility of gas or solubility of oxygen. And this mass of oxygen can be taken as M equal to, then, so if you remove this proportionality, we should write proportionality constant. I will write KH. KH is a Henry's constant and P will be as it is. This is one more equation related to Henry's law. But the most commonly used Henry's law is when this solubility is expressed in mole fraction. Suppose if solubility of gas expressed in mole fraction. If the solubility of the gas is expressed in mole fraction, the most commonly used Henry's law expression is the solubility of the gas, that is in terms of mole fraction X. Then what happened? Tell me what is the statement? At constant temperature, the partial pressure of the gas P in vapor phase is directly proportional to its mole fraction in vapor phase. See, the terms also important. P is directly proportional to X, but what is the P? The partial pressure of the gas in vapor phase. See, it's a, now like for example oxygen. Oxygen comes with some pressure, no? Oxygen comes with some pressure. It has some pressure. So that pressure in which phase? It's a vapor phase here. It's a vapor, no? Therefore, the partial pressure of the gas in vapor phase P, which is directly proportional to what? Mole fraction of the gas in a solution, because this gas is soluble in water, right? When gas is soluble in water, it has some mole fraction. Therefore, for example oxygen comes with something P pressure which is soluble in water, right? Therefore, this P is directly proportional to what? The mole fraction of this gas. Mole fraction of the gas in where? In a solution. So therefore, the statement is very, very important. Here, the partial pressure of the gas in vapor phase, in this phase. The partial pressure of the gas in vapor phase, which is directly proportional to mole fraction of the gas in liquid solution. So therefore P is directly proportional to X. Then can we write P is equals to kH into X? Of course. Tell me now what are the terms? P equal to what? Partial pressure of gas. Partial pressure of the gas in which state? In vapor state, in vapor phase. This is a vapor phase, it is a liquid solution. Therefore the partial pressure of the gas in vapor phase. Next, what is X equal to? It is a mole fraction. Mole fraction of what? Mole fraction of, again, gas only. Mole fraction of gas in which state? In a liquid solution. In liquid solution. Then, and kH equals to, it is a Henry's constant. Okay, so therefore P is equals to kH into X. Suppose, for example, now let us apply this equation to oxygen or any carbon dioxide also. Now let us take oxygen. When oxygen is passing into the water at pressure P. Okay, here now before passing the oxygen into the solution, here the vapor pressure is P. The vapor pressure of oxygen in vapor phase, right? So in vapor phase it is how much? It is P. And the mole fraction of, again, same oxygen here, let us take it is a mole fraction is XO2. Mole fraction XO2. So therefore now tell me what is the Henry's law for oxygen? The partial pressure of oxygen which is equals to, tell me, kH will be constant, and the mole fraction of oxygen in liquid solution, that means PO2 equal to kH into XO2. Similarly, let us apply for carbon dioxide. When carbon dioxide is allowed to pass into the water, okay, with pressure P, and its mole fraction is XCO2. What is the Henry's law for carbon dioxide? So partial pressure of CO2 in vapor phase equals to Henry constant, kH will be constant, and mole fraction of CO2 in which solution? In a liquid solution. Okay, so therefore tell me what is the PCO2? Partial pressure of CO2 in vapor phase. It must be only in vapor phase, not in liquid. Partial pressure of CO2 in vapor phase, then kH is a constant, and what is XCO2? It is a mole fraction of CO2 in liquid solution. Okay, then can you tell me one example? You might have seen Goli soda, okay, in roadside. So have seen Goli soda? Can you notice they make ready soda water. There will be a gas cylinder, CO2, okay, gas cylinder irutte. Then there will be one machine, right? They will take water and something salt and all. They are allowed to pass CO2. CO2 come with very high pressure. In one shot it comes and it goes into the water. Why it comes in very high pressure? If it is not with very high pressure, can CO2 soluble in water? It may be, but not that much. If the CO2 come with high pressure, then only CO2 is more soluble in soda water. So that is what it is. Again, that is also based on is based on nothing but Henry's law. So when pressure is increases, pressure of CO2 increases, solubility is increases. Okay, Fine. Next, now this Henry's law, it is even related with Dalton's law. In first PUC we have studied Dalton's law of partial pressure. Right, Dalton's law of partial pressure. Tell me, according to Dalton's law of partial pressure, do you remember the partial pressure of any gas P? I'll take PA. The partial pressure of gas A is equals to the product of mole fraction of the gas and total pressure. It means the partial pressure of any gas which is equals to, it is a product of what? Mole fraction of the gas into total pressure. For example, if you want to calculate partial pressure of CO2, partial pressure of CO2 equal to mole fraction of CO2 into total pressure. So therefore, partial pressure can be calculated from here, from the Dalton's law of partial pressure. Okay. Next, graphical representation of Henry's law. Okay. So graphical representation of Henry's law. So what is the Henry's equation? P, partial pressure of any gas, equals to kH into, tell me, mole fraction of gas. So P equal to kH into X. Right. Now let us take this partial pressure of gas on y axis, y equal to mx plus linear equation. Tell me. Let us draw here graph. Okay. So on y axis, let us take partial pressure. I will take the partial pressure of HCl. I will draw for HCl gas. Partial pressure of HCl on y axis. Okay. Let us take partial pressures are, it is in torr, 500 torr. Okay. 1000 torr, 1500 torr, 2000 torr. It should be in torr. Partial pressure on y axis, and x axis what should be? Mole fraction. On x axis, let us take mole fraction. So mole fraction, that is mole fraction of HCl, it is in cyclohexane solvent. Cyclohexane solvent, it means HCl dissolved in cyclohexane. So here mole fraction, let us take, it is a 0.01, 0.02, 0.03, 0.04, etc. Now tell me what is the graph. So tell me, y axis pressure is taken, x axis mole fraction taken, where C equal to 0. Intercept 0, no? When the intercept is 0, so we know that graph passes through the origin. Okay. And where, what is the slope is? Where slope equal to nothing but kH. So therefore, in this way, kH can be calculated easily. Okay. So next we have characteristics of Henry's constant. So what are the characteristics of Henry's constant and limitations of Henry constant? Okay, let's see first characteristic 1. So we know that P is equals to kH into X, right? Then can you tell me where, what is the kH equal to? P by X. Where, what is the P and what is X? P equal to partial pressure of the gas. Partial pressure of the gas, vapor phase or liquid solution? It is in vapor phase, where X equal to mole fraction. Then what is the unit of mole fraction? No unit. Therefore, now tell me, what is the unit of kH? The unit of kH is depends on unit of partial pressure, means pressure. If the pressure units are atmosphere, then unit of kH is atmosphere. If the pressure unit is like torr, it is a kH is torr. So therefore, first characteristic is the unit of KH value, KH is depends on what? Units of partial pressure. Next characteristic. Then what is the relation between KH and temperature? So we will take the value later. So remember, KH value is directly proportional to temperature. As the temperature increases, KH values are increases, right? So KH value increases with increasing temperature. That means different gases having different KH value, of course. Different gases having different KH value, and their KH values are increases with increasing temperature. For example, the KH value of oxygen O2 at 293 Kelvin and at 293, you can take it is at 293 and 303 Kelvin. Okay, so it is, suppose the KH value of oxygen at 293 Kelvin is something X and 303 Kelvin is Y. Tell me which is more? Y is more, because the KH value at higher temperature is always more than that of lower temperature. So therefore Y value is greater than X value. It means when the temperature increases, KH values increases. But important is, what is the relation between KH value and solubility? Why? We know that temperature inversely proportional to solubility. It is inversely proportional to solubility. Since temperature inversely proportional to solubility, then KH value also inversely proportional to solubility. Therefore, KH is inversely proportional to solubility. It means solubility of the gas decreases when KH value increases. Okay. For example, let us take KH value of helium. Helium has highest KH value. Okay, I'll give the values later. Helium has highest KH value, and formaldehyde has least KH value. Right. So therefore, the KH value of helium is always greater than at all temperature is greater than the formaldehyde. And moreover, in a given gases, formaldehyde has least KH value and helium has highest KH value. It means among helium, formaldehyde, which is more soluble in water? Formaldehyde. Because formaldehyde has least KH value, more soluble. Helium has highest KH value, less soluble. So therefore, KH values are like this, then solubilities are their reverse. So solubility of formaldehyde is always greater than helium. Right? So these three are the important characteristics of KH. Next is limitation. What are the limitations of Henry's law? 1. Limitations of Henry's law. Okay. First limitation is, see, Henry's law is applicable, it is applicable for only slightly soluble gases or less soluble gases. It is applicable for only less soluble gases. It means it is not applicable for more soluble gases. 2. So it cannot applicable or it cannot valid at high temperature, at a very high temperature, very low temperature. Therefore, it is not applicable very low temperature and very high temperature. So therefore, temperature must be moderate. It should be not very low, it should not be very high. Therefore, it is not applicable at very low, very high temperature. 3. Third condition is important. Third condition is, suppose if gas can combine with liquid or gas chemically reacts with solvent liquid. This law is not applicable. This law is not applicable when the gas chemically react with solvent, right? For example, let us take, it is ammonia gas. Okay, it is combined with water. It forms what? Ammonium hydroxide. So ammonia combined with liquid water, it form ammonium hydroxide. So there is a chemical reaction taking place. So this law is not applicable. And this law also not applicable when solute undergo dissociation or association. Where what is solute here? Gas. If gas undergo dissociation, gas dissociate or associate, this law is not applicable. It means gas should not dissociate, should not associate. Then this law is applicable. So therefore there are three limitations. Tell me, what are the first limitation? First limitation is this law is applicable for only less soluble gases. It is not applicable for highly soluble gases. 2. This gas is applicable, it is not applicable very high and very low temperatures. Temperature should not be very high, temperature should not be very low also. It should be moderate. And third condition is this law is not applicable when gases react with liquid solvent. When gas react with liquid solvent, it forms the new compound. This law is not applicable. And finally, this law also not applicable when gas dissociate or associate. This law is not applicable. It means gas should not dissociate, should not associate. Then only this law is applicable. Take down. 1. Okay. So take the values. Helium at 293 Kelvin, it is 144.47. So as I told you, helium has highest value of KH. At 293 Kelvin. Next is hydrogen, 293 Kelvin, 69.16. Nitrogen, see, you observe here, 293, nitrogen 293, nitrogen 303. At 293 Kelvin, it is how much? 76.48. And when temperature increases by how many degrees? 10 degrees. Okay, it become 88.84. It means it is increased or not? 76.48 to 88.84. It is increased. It means as the temperature increases, KH values increases. Next, you see the oxygen. Oxygen 293 Kelvin, 34.86. Oxygen 303 Kelvin, 46.86. It is a bar. These values are in bar. Okay, here also, when temperature increases by 10 degrees Celsius, again KH value is increased. Argon 40.3 at 298 Kelvin. Carbon dioxide 1.67. And formaldehyde, see, formaldehyde has least KH value, no? 144.47, that is helium, right? Formaldehyde is 1.8 into 10 power minus 5. It is the least KH value. Okay. Next is methane, 0.1413, and vinyl chloride 0.611, and H2S is 40.3 bar. Okay, here there are some previously question appeared based on this tabular column. In tabular column, of course you have to remember the KH values, but most important is comparison. In exam they do not ask what is the value of N2 303. This kind of question cannot be expected. What is the value of O2 at KH value at 293 Kelvin? No, this kind of question cannot be. But question like this, which of the following gas has more soluble or more solubility? Which of the following gas has less solubility? This kind of question can be expected. Now take one question. Arrange the following gases. Arrange the following gases in the decreasing order of KH values at 293 Kelvin. Okay, A, N2, B, O2, C, H2, D, He. Tell me, you just arrange the gases in the decreasing order of their KH value. It means which gas has highest KH value? Helium. Order of KH. It is the highest to lowest, no? Decreasing. So as we know that if there is a helium, remember helium has highest KH value among the given gases. That's what, do you remember? Helium, noble gases are sparingly soluble. Helium is the gas which is very, very slightly soluble in water. That is the reason this helium can be taken or mixed with oxygen gas in sea divers. Its application of Henry's law we have. Okay, sea divers carry the gas cylinder, no? That is mixed with oxygen as well as helium will be there, because helium is very, very slightly soluble, right? Therefore, the KH value of helium is highest. Next is see the value N2, no? N2 greater than H2 greater than O2. So O2 has less KH value among the given. Now if I ask what is the order of solubility? It is reverse, no? When comes to solubility, O2 is more soluble, then next is H2, next is N2, and least is helium, because highest KH value. Okay, this kind of question can be expected based on these values, or by giving different, like one more question. Which of the following gas has least solubility in water? Which of the following gas has least solubility in water at 298 Kelvin? Which of the following gas has least solubility in water at 298 Kelvin? Option A, CH2 double bond CH, Cl, B, H2S, C, CO2, D, O2. One more O2. D, take methane. Tell me, so which of the following gas has least solubility? So least solubility means highest KH. Which one has highest KH value? This is a vinyl chloride. Vinyl chloride, H2S, CO2, methane. Which one has highest? H2. It is a 40.3. Remember, H2S and argon both will have same KH value, but temperatures are different, no? It is same. Temperature also same. Okay, right? Next, another part is based on Henry's law equation. Problems are important. Okay, listen. What kind of problem may ask possibility? We have only one formula, that is P equal to KH into X. Okay, so problems based on only this equation. but question may come in different dimensions. Okay, see, for example, question is one simple question. They give the like partial pressure of any one gas PO2, partial pressure of oxygen, and they will give the KH value. They may expect what is the mole fraction of oxygen. Can be calculated now? By giving partial pressure of oxygen, by giving Henry's constant, so you can calculate XO2, the mole fraction of O2. Then what it become here? Mole fraction of O2 equal to partial pressure of oxygen divided by KH. Henry's constant they will give. Okay, but sometime they here instead of mole fraction, actually what is a mole fraction? It is a solubility term, no? It is a solubility term. Solubility can be taken as mole fraction. Solubility can be taken as even molality, right? Therefore, in place of X, you can take molarity, you can take even molality, right? So even you can take mass also directly. So therefore, sometime this KH value, they will give the KH equal to something 1.2 into 10 power minus 2. It is a mole per liter. It is atmosphere mole per liter. This may be the KH value given. You just tell me what do you understand by this unit. Tell me first. Okay, value let it be. What is the meaning of this unit? So if based on the unit of KH value, you can understand what is the solubility here. So here what is the formula? P equal to, tell me, KH into X. Then we want to calculate solubility, X equal to P by KH, right? P by KH, but KH value given, it is atmosphere mole per liter. Okay, so KH equals to, tell me from this equation, P by X, no? This is atmosphere, then it is what? Atmosphere bar, it is a mole per liter. Now tell me, if the KH value given atmosphere mole per liter, so this pressure is in atmosphere, X is what? Mole per liter. X is mole per liter means it is nothing but what? Molarity. Very good. It means you need to calculate molarity. So instead of molarity, sometimes they ask mass or number of moles. If you know the molarity, you can calculate mass, number of moles, vice versa can be calculated. So these kind of questions are important. Okay. So one is direct question. Second one is indirect question. It is, they will give the solubility X. X need not to be always mole fraction. Mole fraction irad bekagilla. This X may be a molarity, X may be a molality, X may be a even mass, because it is solubility, no? We have taken solubility in terms of mole fraction for our convenient, but it is need not to be always mole fraction. That's what, while doing problem, you need to see that what is the value of KH or what is the unit of KH. In the unit of KH, if the molarity is there, X is a molarity. In the unit of KH, if the molality unit is there, it is a molality. If there is no unit, mole fraction. Mole fraction. If the KH is equals to only atmosphere, it is mole fraction. If it is a atmosphere per mole is there, what is X equal to? Number of moles. So like that you need to decide whether X is given what molarity, normality, molality, what it is. Okay. So in this way it is important. Some questions are there, we will do it next class.